6, thanks, Rich. Anyone want to make a motion? Anyone have any comments on the minutes?
I motion to accept.
Have a second?
I'll
All
second
in
that.
favor? Aye. Moving on to old business, item 3, deed restriction update. Al, I assume you don't have any update? Nothing new?
I really don't. Nothing to add from the last meeting.
Got it, yeah. Next item, public outreach process. So I reached out to Jesse Williams from The Source and gave him the PowerPoint. He's gonna publish something in the next edition, kind of update things. I talked to Lauren about the next logical date to have our public info session, which would be, I figure after the election, because it's our next meeting or 2 meetings from now would be the day after election, which I don't think makes sense. Or would be the election, actually. So I suggest we do it the 17th. So I let Jesse, they'll put that in the paper. We have to notice that. But so put it on your calendars. 2 meetings from now will be November 17th. We'll have a public info meeting. And then after that, I guess we can decide if we do the survey before or after we do, we do the RFP. But that's kind of the schedule.
And that the public info session, is that going to be virtual, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it'll be a Zoom
Yeah.
session. Yeah. And it'll be, they already had it. I guess the other committee had one, so she'll just set it up. Al, how well attended was that session and how did that work? For you and Lauren and Al? How many people actually joined and listened in?
There were 4 people,
Ah,
so it wasn't, it was not heavily attended. But I feel like the public that did come were people that hadn't come to prior meetings of that committee. And there was actually some good discussion that came out of it. So I do think it was worthwhile. And I actually had people who watched the public info session after the fact and then emailed me some questions that went to the chair. So it did, serve a purpose for them. I have already set it up for you guys, and I think I already sent you a calendar invite as well. So you should have all of the link.
Yes.
Okay.
and I forwarded that on to Jesse. No, I don't know, was the same link? Would the public do the same link as that?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so he's gonna put that in the article, so they know it. We'll have to notice it 10 days prior in The Source. Is it a
It's
little
already
box?
gone to them.
Oh, okay,
Yep, the legal notice is already with them. So they have that already earmarked for the paper. That's 2 Thursdays before that.
okay. I thought you had to do a more widely circulated paper for notice, but The Source is good enough now?
You have to do it in The Source actually, because you have to do it in a paper that has a free circulation in the town.
Oh,
So the register is not circulated unless you sign up for it. The Source is circulated to every address.
interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't think too many people subscribe to the register anymore, to be honest.
Hmm.
It's not much of a paper. The flyer, the newspaper flyer has probably got more information than, unfortunately, for the register.
Lauren, just one quick question. Are there any outside folks on this meeting? Any guests?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the public outreach. So that seems to be well in place. Thanks for Lauren for setting that up. The newsletter, I guess, probably somewhere in between this article and maybe between then and the public info, we can try to shoot for a newsletter or something, some update. Just to kind of keep the news going, but we'll think about that. So moving on to new business. It's a debrief from the Board of Selectmen on the 28th. I think most people were able to attend. So I don't know, has anyone got any feedback? Good, bad, or indifferent?
Well, I guess to me, it's a compliment to the Board of Selectmen. I like the program management feedback we received, like, okay, like Peggy recognized that we only had 104 responses. She recognized that, maybe dig a little deeper, that type of thing. So I thought that was good.
Yeah, it makes sense. With the public outreach, we don't want to jump to conclusions. Even if-
Right, that was kind of, at least that feedback was, basic common sense.
I think our intent was to signal full speed ahead.
Yeah, Al, I was just trying to
Carry on.
compliment you, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Great. So, yeah, so I think we're in pretty good shape. I did send the cost model over to Peggy and she can distribute or review it, you know, as deemed fit. So, I'm not sure if, you know, I want to give them every opportunity to look at it, whether, and I don't know if we should maybe send it, somebody engage the Board of Finance in that process also. I don't know, Al, what do you think? Is there someone on the Board of Finance that might want to get involved? Our charge is to interact with, you know, boards and commissions, and that's one we haven't really talked about.
Everybody will get involved at the end to tell you what you should have done. But but at the moment, I think you guys are on the right track, and we encourage you to keep at it.
Got it. Okay, I just cross things off the list. You know what I mean? I don't want to be accused of not, you know, presenting anything, but
Yeah.
you're right. They'll, you know, when we get to that point, everyone will know. I'm sure they'll want something to say with the RFP, whatever, when we get to that point. Okay. So any other, let's see here, agenda. So the next steps, we had the presentation, so I think those are the next steps. The RFP, I guess we could start thinking about working on, you know, an RFP, or what an RFP might look like. At some point, we're gonna need that in the next month or two, in theory, a draft RFP.
Graham, you might want to ask Lauren if she could obtain some samples of RFPs that might be appropriate that we could use as a template.
Well, I already have. I've got the ones from the previous one for Academy, and there's 3 or 4 other schools that have RFP'd surplus schools in the area that I'm
Okay.
located.
Yeah, Al, I posted them. You should, if you don't have it from the drive, you'll see it. It says RFP. And if you can't pull it down, just let me know.
Those are on the Google Drive, Rich?
Yes.
Okay.
One of them was just large. It was just large.
Yeah. I
And I
mean,
just, yeah.
which project was that for?
I don't remember.
I
Graham,
can't
do you
envision-
remember? It was just a lot of pages that it's, you know, it's not a military type program we're on. We're just, you know, I see maybe 6, 8 pages tops, but this was like, I don't know, 100 pages.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I can't see more than 8 pages here. It's not that big of a
Yeah.
property and the options aren't extensive.
Yeah, I think the one we did for Academy was probably the most comparable one. We just got to tweak the options, I think. So I've got my charger on here.
And is that something that was done sort of gratis by a real estate firm, or was that something that was paid
I
for?
think they did it. Like I said, I'll get at the next meeting. I've already invited Colliers, the guy who does the real estate, who helped the town. I don't believe they. I don't know if they charged, or I don't know how much they charged. Al, do you remember if Colliers got paid to work on the Academy RFP, or was that a freebie? Or was that one of those 10 grand specials? You remember? I'll find out.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need them, but you know, they offered to come up and give us some free advice. So see what they say. They, you know, it would be helpful because they were in the loop on the last time with the development side. So they were involved in the, I mean, if you go through the whole process, it's probably more, they helped review the RFPs, and they actually brought an architect in to help with the thing, because there was a lot more complexity to the Academy, the reuse of that. You know, I mean, I don't think we're planning on an adaptive reuse, but on the Academy, they had to because it was historic. And it was, you know, deed restrictions along those lines.
If we ever got to a point of listing the property, does the town have any contracts or existing relationships with it that would be used, or like, so does Colliers stand to be able to list the property if they provide us some good information? Just looking to save a few bucks.
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
don't
question.
think the town has any existing arrangement with anybody. So I would look to this committee for, I think the selectmen would look to this committee for a recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, we could put an RFP out for, listings, or what we do in College is in town. They've done a lot of work for the
Yeah.
town over the years, so. Unless someone has a strong feeling, that's probably, we'll see. They'll come in and pitches and how they can help. They're full service. We're using them as the owner's rep on the library, for example. And they've done a lot of work for the school system, so they know the buildings.
Hey, Graham, I do think it would be a good time to start that process though, because then we could get real numbers and real kind of figures to revise this spreadsheet, or the financial model. So we know really what it should look like.
Yeah, so I'll like I said, I'll bring Colliers in. We can talk about it and see what they recommend, and how we solicit that part. Let's see here. So the risk reward, at some point we were going to get together and do the risk reward thing. I don't know if Rich, if you want to send out the, I don't know if you had a chance to send out the blank to everybody, or.
Yeah, I think I updated it, and what I did is I also added safety. And I did some dry runs, and so everybody will have their input, and I'll set out the blanks. And then we could set it up where, I'm trying to think, is fill it in, send it back to me, and then I'll confirm your receipt and send you a PDF copy of what I received. So there's so at least I have a copy. Because this is the first time I've done one of these in a Zoom meeting. Everything was, round table, and, you have these events. So, and again, the intent is that we capture everybody's input, and what it is you're bringing about a general summary as a group, and there's backup behind it. And then the Board of Selectmen could do the same thing. We just change the names for them and see what it looks like. But it's a pretty useful tool, but it gives you a reason why you pick something. But again, it goes back to, we need to fill out the pros and cons and make sure that everybody understands the business cases that were sent out. I think Joe sent it out earlier. That's the key. That's the crux right there. And then if you add the risk assessment to it, you'll see the answer is pretty straightforward, but I'd like to see what the input is from everybody first before, we come to any conclusions.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a great idea, because.
It takes the word
Which one will you
gut
be
away
sending
from, my gut is, well, it breaks down the word gut, this is the reason.
Rich, I kind of looked at it as it's an inventory of values, right? I mean, I might value the financial
Correct.
impact to the town the most, but that doesn't mean that's the right way to make the decision. It just happens to be what I value. But other people that may value other things less quantitative, it lets them weigh that. So I thought it was very useful.
That's
Rich, when are
the
you planning to
intent.
send that out?
Oh, I'm sorry.
When are you planning to send out that survey?
I'm waiting for the command. It's all set to go. I worked on it since about the last 2 weeks. I've added safety in there, and there's a subroutine in there, and I can show you what the formulas are and such. But what it does is you pull down a menu, you vote from 0 to 4. I took the 5th vote out because anything, you should be able to make a decision with them between either 1 and 4, or 0 or 4. 0 is on the risk side, no risk, meaning, okay, it's operational, that type of thing. So I'll just put some definitions of what each category is, and then I'll send it out. I'm thinking of doing it just a Word document with a pull down menu, and then send it back to me live, and then I'll send you a receipt in PDF. And then we'll record all that transaction in the final version. And then I'll send out what the charts will look like at the end.
Okay, you want to plan on sending it out, and then we'll do it on the 20th? We'll talk about it on the 20th, the next meeting?
Is that October 20th already?
The hell?
Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now is the 20th.
Okay.
We're a month away from the election, yeah, so that's halfway to the election. I assume we're not going to meet on the election night.
No.
No, I think some of us are working, so,
I don't know if we want to push our meeting to the 4th, assuming the country still exists as we know it.
yeah, I don't know. It just- Oh, gosh. Let's get through this.
Did you see that caravan that went through on Saturday afternoon?
Yes, I did.
My wife was like quite perturbed. I was like, relax, it's a free country.
The what?
There was a huge Trump caravan.
Oh, I
It
was
went
in
through
back
town.
of it. I was
It
in
went-
it.
Yeah.
I got stuck in it.
Then my wife, I apologized for my wife who thought everyone who was in the traffic was a supporter. So she's a little on the fringe. Well, as Cecily is too, undoubtedly. I'm sure. My wife
Well, I
and her share a view. So
That thing started in Guilford, and I was
Yeah.
on the post road, and all of a sudden I see this thing and I go, oh, God.
and you just got swept up along in the.
I was behind the last car, and then all of a sudden I see these three people on in Madison Green with their flags, and they're taking a picture of me, and I'm going, what is this?
How far did he go? Did it go to Clinton and turn around, or how?
Went the whole way.
How far down did it go? I mean,
It was in Westbrook.
really?
Yeah, I went to Westbrook. I don't know if it went further than Westbrook, but I was in Westbrook over the weekend and it was there.
I assume we went to Old Saybrook and then doubled back to. I'm guessing we went just right down Route 1 to Old Guilford to Old Saybrook and came
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Did any of
Quite
the
a
cars
show.
sink?
I'm sorry, what?
Did any of the cars sink, like in the lake? You know?
That thought did occur to me. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah,
Quite entertaining.
yeah, it is.
So Rich, you're gonna send that out in the next day or so and ask for, what's the deadline for us to complete? So you've got time to tally before the 20th.
I probably, I mean, if I said a week,
Yeah,
so
I think
it's
that's,
ready to go. It's ready to go. So I'll say a week, and then it doesn't take me long to tally. It's all automatic. Is that about
Okay, so by
right?
next
I think
Tuesday,
that's appropriate.
Okay.
yeah, we'll do it this weekend. Maybe send an invite out with an Outlook reminder so it pops up on Tuesday,
Okay.
next Tuesday.
And just so we said, we're gonna forego our meeting on the 20th and just resume on the 3rd? No, we can't do that.
No, we're
No,
gonna
no.
keep the meeting the 20th. We're gonna cancel the one 2 weeks after that, which is
Yeah,
election.
the 3rd, that's election day.
So it's the 20th, and then we meet the
17th.
17th, okay?
Yep. And that's the public info session.
Yeah.
I may not
Which
be
is
there.
6:30, so we'll have half an hour beforehand to kind of like prep for that.
Yeah, I may not be there on the 17th.
You'll be
I
there
gotta
at
have a
6:30.
procedure the next day, and I gotta prep the night before, and that's about as much description I'm getting into.
That's all we need to know, Rich.
We can guess. We can guess, Rich.
Thank you, thank you.
The taste isn't, it's not as bad as it used to be, by the way, just in case, just guessing.
All right, what's next on the agenda?
Next on the agenda.
Okay, RFP developments, we talked about that. So if people want to just kind of take a look at the RFPs that are on the network or on the drive, and then I'll invite well, I don't know if I want to invite college to the 20th, or you think, how long do you think it'll take us to do the risk assessment, Rich?
It really, it's a discussion. It's more than just bullet points.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
what do you
would
say,
invite
30
Holly.
minutes tops?
Yeah, I'll wait. We can wait until after the public outreach. It's probably better to do the public outreach because then we'll get some feedback. And, those 4 people are going to have a lot to say.
Exactly.
We're doing a lot of listening. Yep.
By the way, Rich, it was
What?
the Coolidge School RFP that was 94 pages.
The what?
Coolidge School RFP.
Yeah, I couldn't remember, and
94.
it was a lot of pages.
Yeah, it was.
And yeah, again, what this risk assessment is, it's part of the package that we'll present, or whoever presents it. but you'll have the business case, your survey, and then the risk or assessment from the group. And these are the reasons why we're heading in this direction. So I'll make it, the summary from the risk assessment will be as, brief. But again, it goes back to the business case, which is, I guess, was there any other input to that spreadsheet or?
No.
Not as
No,
of
I
yet.
think it was, yeah.
Okay. I'm just suggesting you don't lose sight of the pros and cons and make sure you understand, what I did is I added some pull down menus. Like, for example, if you can't get 24 units in there, what happens if you could only put 20? What does it look like? And it doesn't, it gets worse and worse. So we used to think in terms of, we call it Bob's and wow, best of the best or worst of the worst. And something that may be the best of the best, but if you make some changes to some variables or put some variables in there, it gets worse and worse. So it's just, you're collecting your thoughts.
Good, perfect. So we'll look for that. We'll get it back to you by the 13th.
Okay.
Public, item 8, public comment. Did anyone join us? Lauren, no public?
Nope.
Just-
No public.
No public. Any other new business anyone want to discuss?
I just got a spider going up my screen, my monitor, that's it.
I don't know if we want to put that in the minutes, Rich, but
Okay.
it's up to you completely. I'll let you.
No.
Troll.
Yeah, it's a troll.
Control. Got it. Beautiful. Okay. So I guess with that, was anticipating a quick meeting. This was even quicker than I thought. So make a motion to adjourn. Any, all in favor? Aye. Unanimous. Meeting ends at 6:28.
6:28.
Thanks,
Perfect.
everyone.
Okay, thank
Cheers.
you. Take care.
Thanks, take care.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for everything.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.